I'm just setting up my live stream. This, um, okay, let's switch over to my second live because I wanted to show you something. Oh, probably should turn that off, otherwise you're going to hear me twice. It's going to be awkward. The microphone on the connected to the computer would be heard before my phone, and it's gonna, yeah. Right, so window capture, we want that one. Right, so many years ago, there was a movie with Charlton Heston and quite a few other well-known movie stars. So I'm getting some lag at the moment. I need to give it a second to catch up. Right, so many years ago there was this movie called Soylent Green, and for years people used to laugh at that movie. Who would ever eat people? Oh, come on, it's all fantasy, it's ridiculous. Right? So, at the time it was, do you like the snow map? Country snow. Anyway, at the time it was just a movie, it was just fiction. But there's a lot of things happening in the world right now with food prices from the roof, and they're trying to abolish meat. And it begs the question, hang on, let me set this to daylight mode because it's so dark you can't see nothing. It's alright normally, I can see my way around, but when you're doing a video you need more light. And you know, don't you hate those dark movies? You know, those movies they're filming them in the dark, you can't see nothing. And I think it's partly to stimulate your imagination, so you fill in the blanks with more scary things, which is from the id or subconscious mind. So anyway, in Wileyville, we came across these drums, right, a few weeks ago, and I thought, that's so interesting. But you can't read them unless I not display them. Because, now, the title I put in this video, let me just come in here. So, these drums, right, I'm going to talk about these drums, not specifically to do with Second Life at Wileyville, but it's certain things in the world seem to mimic fantasy, don't they? The fantasy is the real world, is it copying fantasy? Or is fantasy a subconscious reflection or precognition of what is to come in the real world? So when people create these movies, when people create these stories, are they creating these stories based on dreams that they've had, or is it based on inside information that they've had? But either way, it concerns all of us, because as we know, we're living in a situation at the moment, especially in some certain countries, of a food scarcity. The price of food has gone through the roof. Many people can't afford to buy food. The poor, generally speaking, cannot afford to buy food. So they end up relying on what we call food banks. donations, and it's usually food that nobody else wants to buy. A lot of the supermarket shelves are full of foods that are imports, maybe they come from a different country like China or somewhere, and obviously we're a little bit reluctant to eat food that we don't know where it comes from, especially if it happens to be some sort of food that's been grown on land that might be contaminated from industrial waste, which is quite an issue in China. As I understand it, they've been importing a lot of our old electrical goods, and they've been melting down these electrical goods to get the gold out. And you hear stories about this, about contaminated landfill sites, and they might be converted into agricultural land in the future, which should not happen really. That should be banned. But let me just find something. I need to switch over to my other thing, because I wanted to split these drums up, because you can't read them right now, they're all buried. Turn my helicopter hood off because I don't want that on. So these drums. Now we don't just see it in one simulator. You can find this stuff in lots of games, lots of simulators, all over the place, right? So as I was talking about this issue, is the fact that we seem to be trying to split these drums up. I think that's good enough. I think we can, oh maybe not, hang on. Can I read these drums now? So I come across this stuff where it says condemned food for the poor, and I thought, well, that's exactly, remember this is from years ago. These things, this simulator is from many years ago, and it's got nothing to do with Wileyville. It's happening in all of the games. We see this stuff, this sort of thing. I see this stuff where it says contaminated food, or what is it? They're not. I need to split them up a bit more. Yeah, food for the poor, it says on that. I need to split this drum up a bit more. They're too close together. I can't read them. Can't move them. I can't touch them and move them. So I have to. That one's rolling away now. So what does it say on it? For external use only. Government cheese, 20 gallons. Yeah, right, okay. That's not the one I'm looking for. Oh, this is a staff weapon I'm using, by the way, out of Stargate SG-1. Tilk's weapon, I think it is. Right, so this tin, what's this tin say? Oh, it's rolling still. Heinz 57 varieties. That's not that one. I think it might be this one. Maybe not. Can't read that. Oh, it's probably that one. There we go. Is that it? Soylent Green. There we have it. Soylent Green. The movie that came out in the 1970s, talking about Soylent Green, which was made out of people, and interestingly enough, it's got people on the on the label. Biscuit compound, it says. But yeah, it's actually, yeah, based on the actual real movie, Soylent Green, which was actually human remains that were converted into foodstuffs to feed to the poor. And it used to be beef, it said. Oh, no, it's not beef. It says beef on the tin, but it's been crossed out. It says, no, this isn't beef. What the hell is it? It's not beef. No, it's Soylent Green, which is made up of people. Go and look at the... I'll try and put the link in the description for you to have a look at later on. Can't do it now because I'm live right now. But interestingly, this is fantasy, right? Right, fantasy, but it seems to be mimicking what we're heading towards, you know, this scarcity, food scarcity, and sorry, I've got some on my keyboard, trying to get rid of it. So anyway, you hear stories about people who have these dreams, these prophetic dreams. Prophetic means prophecy or psychic, whatever. And often what happens is they write this stuff down in a book or something, or they write a diary or something, and sometimes it ends up in a movie. Somebody says, I've got this brilliant idea, it should be in a movie. And somebody tells somebody else, and they say, oh yeah, I use that idea. That's usually how stuff gets into movies. People say, I've got this brilliant idea, I dreamt about something, I'll tell you about it, blah, blah, blah. Oh yeah, I'll use that. That's usually what happens. But you see, is it actually fiction? Is it fantasy? Because look at these cans rearranging themselves. Look. Is it fantasy? Because a lot of stuff that we've seen in the last few years, Star Trek and everything, you know, to the cord, the communicators, we have mobile phones that you can flip up and talk on them now. All of that's become real. So where did people get these ideas from? Was it a dream? Was it somebody saying, oh, we're going to have mobile phones in the future, let's make a communicator? No, I don't think it worked like that. Somebody invented a communicator based on a dream of some kind. They didn't understand what they were dreaming about, but they just thought, oh, it makes a good thing for Star Trek. But later on somebody else saw that and thought, oh, that's really cool, let's make our mobile phones look like a communicator in Star Trek. That could be the way it worked, you know. So sometimes people get ideas from watching science fiction. So sometimes people invent things based on fiction, which isn't always good for our future. And unfortunately, this Soylent Green thing is really disturbing. Because I did hear some stories about China. They wanted to use these organisms, this bacteria, and this isn't pleasant, so I don't know how to put it into words without it sounding disgusting. But basically, they wanted to use human waste, you know, poop. They feed it to this bacteria, this organism, and this organism is a genetically engineered thing that mimics beef. It grows and it consumes this SHIT, and it grows into artificial beef, and then they want to feed that to us. I heard this and I saw it on the internet. I was like, oh my God, that is disgusting. Anyway, there's a can out here. It says condemned foods for the poor. I think it's that one over there. It's not actually. It's probably going to rearrange its. Oh shit! I'm walking up the stairs. It's probably going to rearrange itself in a second. Oh, what is it? I was trying to read it before it resets. I can't read that. What the hell does that say? Linden Labs. Oh no. What's it say? Can't see. Industrial strength laxative. All right. So yeah, we have been relaxed. We have been made apathetic. Apathy. We have been made to ship to Linden Labs. Oh, I like that. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Yeah, feed Linden Labs on this stuff. Yeah, we don't want to eat it. Oh, mate, so that's so funny. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about that because you come across this stuff in these games and you think, oh, it's just fantasy, it's just fiction. No, but this shit's coming real, isn't it? I mean, there's food shortages right now. They're trying to abolish and ban meat, beef, real beef. What's going to happen when there's no real cows? What's going to happen? What are you going to eat? I mean, this stuff is fantasy about useless stuff no one wants, so it gets left in warehouses. Oh yeah, that's pretty true. That is spot on. Useless stuff no one wants, so it gets left in warehouses. Yeah, and we're buying it. Oh, special offer! You buy one get 2 3. Oh, get 2 for 3 or something. Oh, that'll be good too. What's this? Can't read it. It's hard. Yeah, I saw these other drums the other day. Condemned food stuff. So I think it isn't that well. Oh God, I don't want to split them all up again. I honestly don't. Let me check. Pretty sure it was in here. I couldn't read it. Where was it? Look at this can floating in midair. It was in one of these cans. It said condemned foods for the poor. Oh, I'm pretty sure. Oh, was it in a different warehouse? I can't remember now. I don't know where it was. Oh, it might have been that one with the yellow label. Oh, it might have been that. Is it? No, I just read that one before, didn't I? Which one was it? I'm pretty sure it's somewhere around here. Can't remember now. But yeah, that's also what's happening. I mean, the cheap stuff. Now, there's something you want to think about. Now, here's a question for you, right? Why is it when you go into a supermarket and you want to buy a top brand, say baked beans, it's a top brand, bear in mind, it's supposed to be high quality, right? Why is it more expensive to buy a main leading brand that's got less ingredients in it than a cheap brand that's full, it's got a long list of chemicals in it? Why is the cheap one, why is it so cheap to buy food? Well, it's not even food, is it really? That's full of chemicals. It's because it's not good for you. It's designed to give you cancer or something. It's going to kill you, basically. It's not food. You're not buying food when you're buying all that chemical crap. Trust me. It's not food. That's why it's so freaking cheap. And they want to force you to buy the cheap stuff because it's reducing the population long term. Just bear that in mind. Because it should never ever be a fact that you buy something that's cheaper, should never have more ingredients in it, ever. Unless there's something seriously wrong with that picture. Do you get what I'm saying? So let's say you go out to buy a car. Right. A car is really cheap, but it's got more features than a car that's more expensive. Does that make any sense? No, it does not. So if you buy a Rolls Royce and it's got less features in it, so it's got no central, it's got no aircon, it's got no air conditioning. They didn't put the windscreen wipers on it, but it's the top brand, so you got to buy it. You know, you pay more money for it. But the cheap one's got everything on it. So why? Does that make any sense? You see what I'm getting at? If it's got more stuff in it and you pay less, there's something very wrong with that picture. Don't buy it. Because it should never ever be cheaper to buy something that's got more in it. There's definitely something wrong with that. So, did I design this? No, I didn't. Yes, I did. I don't want to blow the whole city up. Anyway, so just watch what you buy, what you look. Read the frigging labels, for God's sake. If it's got a load of stuff in it and you can't even read what it is, if it's in a different language, I won't buy it. I like to know what's in it. They brought these labelling rules out years ago, and I think part of the reason why they're bringing a lot of foreign imports in is because of the population migration that's going on. Okay, I'm not against the migration if it's legitimate, but there's a lot of illegal stuff going on which is not right. I mean, the rest of us are basically are getting shafted. We're getting shafted. It's not fair. Anyway, just something to think about.